was
but you're making
pretty
my
fucking
point.
egregious.
But I think to Ty, you can agree or disagree. Don't y'all? And maybe this is a position that a brother, uncle, somebody that's directly connected to you would actually do. Would lay his life or his freedom on the line to be able to protect you, or do some harm and just because I've heard the saying, man, if that I'm gonna go to prison. They're gonna make me go to jail over this. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that term. Maybe is that what you're talking about when you say that you would expect the men in your circle or just any man that just value the women to go out there and lay it down for her if she's violated in any shape, form, or fashion. Is that what y'all would mean when y'all wanted to protect y'all? Because I know y'all don't want to just come cut somebody out.
I think there's different layers of protection, and I know that we usually talk about relationships and that's where y'all jump, but for me I feel like girls can start, or children period, right, can start not feeling protected at a very young age from their experiences before you even get to the dating market.
Okay, I know.
And it changes, you know what I mean? It changes your perspective and your approach when you start to actually date and actually allowing the man in your life to vet. If I didn't feel that you protected me from an infant to my dating stage, then why would I then trust you now with my dating stage?
You think a
You know,
part of
and
that
I've
is
never thankfully been in a relationship where I was beat on or had to
right?
have somebody jumped on or anything like that. But I've been through things in adolescence, right, that affected me, and that once again, the men around me were not my protectors.
On a scale on a 1 to 10, how often you think are women in that position, in that situation, when they're young, and the person that's
Shit, come on, bro.
offending them is the actual relative? How often will women actually contact authorities?
I don't.
Just on a scale from 1 to 10, it's just your opinion.
I think broadly overall,
Where
if
is
it's
this
a family
going?
member, then maybe
Where is this going?
Well, once you answer, then I'll be able to tell you.
if it's a family member in our communities, maybe a 5, right? 50-50 chance if they're going to actually contact the authorities or not, because we have a culture where we keep things in home, we'll take care of it, we sweep it under the rug, you know, we don't say anything. And then you have that other side that's like, no, you violated my child, you gotta go. So it's a toss up.
So you think if that number risen to maybe 8 or 9, that this conversation wouldn't even be necessary if the women who were offended would actually speak out? Because I do, and I'm not saying all, but I think we all do hear 30 years later women speak out.
Not speak out, right? Because we're talking about children
Well, that's what I mean.
being hurt.
Well,
So
that's
it's
yeah.
the,
A lot of times the kids don't even know that's what's happening to them. So
and
be
then
very
if they
careful with
do,
your words right now, Darwin.
if they
I,
do,
I I
right,
thought I was
once
being
they,
careful with.
you was being careful, but once they do know and someone finds out, it's usually that next adult's responsibility to either,
This
you
is
know, say something, enforce something, tell the police, so forth and
Okay,
so
so
on.
I'll
What
give
if
you
the
that.
kid never says nothing because the person threatened them?
I'll
What
give
if
you
they
that.
don't say nothing until they're an adult? Then
I give you that. So, like, at what time frame does it dawn in on them? Because I'm granting you the argument, and I believe that in some ages the kids don't even know that that's actually wrong, but
Hmm.
they do get to a particular age number to where their mind, oh yeah, that shit that happened when I was wrong. So
what
do they
age
wait
would
to their hold on, wait,
what
do they
age
wait to
would
their
you do it?
18 or 20 or some shit? Or do they do it at that particular number?
What age should a child be when they realize they're being molested and they need to report it, Darwin?
Okay, basically, I didn't want to say the words because this ain't my channel. I don't want to.
Well, touch. If a child is
Well,
violated?
that's the
How old
question I
should
was
they be?
actually
How
asking.
old should they be? No, you tell me as a man, because men are the
Okay, so
violators.
I
Men are
think
the
you're coming in with a
perpetrators most
blank
of the
slate.
time. No,
What's the
speak.
term, brother? You
Men
coming
are
in with a
usually
you
the
coming.
perpetrators of child abuse. So, can you tell me as a man what age should the child speak up?
That's the question I was asking Ty
No,
when
I'm
you was in.
asking you as the man who
But
represents the demographic of the
you could,
perpetrator.
can you give me the respect of allowing me to ask the question to Ty? That's what I was asking her.
Go for
because
it.
she's familiar with this. She has this experience. She has the familiarity of the situation. So I was giving her the mic to be able to answer the question. Thank you, Ray.
I honestly don't know because there's a lot of different factors I feel that play into this. Some children go through that situation and they get older and they do feel violated, right? But instead of speaking out, for one, shame themselves. And then they also can be empathetic to the person that even did it to them, right? It's a certain like psychological point where it's like, okay, if I speak up now, it was this long ago, I should just let it go and move on with my life, which happens to end up turning out to maybe them being over sexualized, doing certain things that they shouldn't be doing, going a totally different route. You know what I mean? Or they might get older and decide, yes, now I want to say something, but I don't think there's a specific age to
Right.
be honest.
I don't think it's a specific age, and I won't say it either. But just for the sake of answering Ray's question, and even if it's irrelevant, I mean, or relevant to her, I believe personally, in my opinion, whatever age you come to, it dawns in on you that hey, that was wrong. I personally believe that's when you should be vocal about it and contacting authorities. And that could be any age. It can be 5, it can be 3, it can be 7, it can be 12, whatever it is. Once you realize it, I think that's whenever you should pull the trigger on figuring out
And
how to do it.
that's such a simple answer, right?
It
But
Yeah,
is.
it's not
you
that
have
black
to
and
go,
white.
it's not that simple though for I feel people that actually go through that situation. Because then it's like, okay, let's say they're 12 and they realize it, and maybe this has been happening to them since they were 4 or 5.
Right.
And they say something first, because usually a child is going to say something to people that they trust first. So it's usually another family member.
Can we
They
steer
might
away
say
from?
something then.
Hey, can we steer away from kids? It's a sensitive
Well,
subject. Can we?
I know, but that was
And that's why I said
my
everybody
whole
needs to
argument. That's
be
why I
very
answered her.
careful with
I
how they
thought we were
carry
having a
it.
conversation carefully and respectfully, by the way,
Well,
When you
for the record.
say what a kid should have said something at this age, it sounds kind of
Well, and that's the reason why
insensitive.
a lot of people don't know how to answer these questions because I think we are.
No, a lot of times the men, that's why I say you should speak as a man. Like, how do y'all enforce punishment upon the men that violate these kids so the kids can feel safe and trust telling somebody and something's going to happen to the perpetrator? How can
I thought we made it
Why
clear
do
with
you
Queenie.
always avoid men's accountability in these situations? Because men are the perpetrators of child abuse a lot of times.
This motherfucker is
I
weird.
think what you did right now is you delay you. We had
You can keep avoiding it. It's cool.